All right, welcome everybody. We're going to get started with head coach Jay Johnson. First question will go Michael Lev, Arizona Daily Star.
Hello, Jay.
Hey, Michael.
Hey. How much have you had to alter your usual practice routine this week, if at all?
Yeah, we've had a great week of practice. We went in the evening early in the week, obviously because of the weather. And then to kind of get on a routine, we went earlier in the day yesterday. And then today we just have finished up our slotted NCAA time. So very pleased with the preparation. Everything has felt just like another week in regards to all that.
Sure. You presumably are going to be facing Pearson Ole in the first game here. What's your scouting report on him?
Yeah, very good pitcher. Throws a ton of strikes. He's a very confident kid.
Given that he throws a ton of strikes, I mean, hardly any walks this season, and the fact that you guys, like to take pitches and draw walks, how do you have to, if at all, alter your approach to a pitcher like that?
Yeah, we just need to take good at bats. We have a pretty good idea of what we're trying to do each time we go to the plate, and we just need to stay with that.
Next question, Ari Koslow, Daily Wildcat.
Obviously, the tournament hasn't started yet, but just from what you've done so far in practice, how beneficial has it been to be at home and not be where you guys are used to, not be on the road?
Yeah, great question. Huge, in my opinion. I noticed it yesterday. If you're on the road yesterday, it would have been a travel day. There's a lot of preparation that goes into playing three teams or preparing for three teams, at least in terms of how our staff does that. And I was very thankful to be sitting in my office, all day, all night on Tuesday and Wednesday for sure.
Next question, Brian Peterson, Arizona Desert Swarm.
How do you think this reset, as you kind of referred to it over the past weekend, worked for you guys as far as getting your mindset back in place after finishing up the regular season?
I just think it was good. I mean, we've been pressing hard, in terms of every way and how we've worked in terms of the competition. I saw something, we won 16 of our last 20 games. And if you think about that, culminating in a Pac-12 championship, national seed, opportunity to host, that was well earned. And so I think maybe just a little bit of a mental break. Sunday was great. And Monday, obviously celebrating the season. And then it's just been back to work. These guys have played with great energy all year long. This week was no different. I do think maybe having an extra day was really important and really helpful for us.
Thank you.
Next question, back to Michael Lev.
What has it meant to the team on and off the field to have Preston Price and Vince Spinelli back this year?
Everything. I think March 12th, it might have been March 13th, whatever the day the season was canceled. Kind of my best way of dealing that is moving forward to what's next. And there was some unknowns relative to year of eligibility, how all that was going to work, what the draft looked like, and then potential sign after the draft. And both those guys had opportunities to do that. And so we really worked hard in terms of the re-recruitment of those guys. And it was obviously the back end of the game and how well we've done in close games, particularly recently, has everything to do with those two guys. And that does so much for your team and your season. So their on the mound contribution, you can quantify it, but you can't. Just, it does so much for teams when you close out close games. And nobody's been more important to that than Preston and Vince. I think the maturity that both of those guys have, being 22, 23 years old, and how they've learned, from their experiences, both successful and unsuccessful, has provided a good roadmap for some of the younger players in our program. And you can really point to how those guys have operated this year on a daily basis and say that's how it's supposed to be done. So they're very important to our team.
You've known Dante Williams for a long time. This is the first time that he's going to play in the postseason here at Arizona, which seems surprising, but it's true. What does it feel like to be going into that battle alongside Dante?
There's nobody I'd rather have up in the box in the first inning of a game, including Dexter Fowler, who's kind of like the guy, leadoff hitter. He's a great player. Like I said, I think he made a legitimate run at being the Pac-12 Player of the Year, and you can't convince me that any player in the Pac-12 was more important to their team's success this year than Dante. And it's I would equate him to maybe like a receiver, who scored like 25 touchdowns, that also played defensive back, that had like 7 interceptions. And I'm very, what a great player, and, great competitor, great mindset. And, we're here because of him, and we'll succeed, largely, in this tournament because of him.
Sure. Coach Yeski said that pressure is a privilege, that you kind of want to put yourself into those situations. Do you agree with that concept?
Well, there's nowhere in the world I'd rather be than on this field today and on this field this weekend. And players have earned it. They're prepared. They're ready for it. They know they're ready for it. And, I think they look at it the same way. I think how we roll right now is the mindset is the strength of this team. And some of them, in mentioning Vince and Preston, went through some things to develop to get themselves to this point. You just mentioned Dante. So I think experience and maturity and mindset is probably the strength of our team. I don't know how many major league players we have on our team. We have a couple, 2 to 3 to 4 maybe, but we have a lot of really, really good college players that have formed a good team, both mentally and physically.
Next question, Alec White, Arizona Daily Star.
Yeah, Jacob Berry and Daniel Susak are going to be up for a number of awards. They were just named to the college baseball All-America team. Just when you recruited those guys, did you expect them to have this immediate impact their freshman season?
Well, first off, in terms of making that collegiate baseball America team, that's a big time honor. You're talking about, in the first team, you're talking about 10 hitters in the entire country. So what accomplishment for Jacob, and it's well deserved. And in terms of Daniel, I think he was on the second team, if I'm not mistaken. There's 2 catchers on every team at least, so that's 600 catchers. So you're talking about arguably the best hitter in the country in Jacob, and you're talking about one of the 2 best catchers in the country in terms of Daniel. So my assessment of it was those were massive, massive recruiting gets. I felt like with their talent, with our development system for hitters and position players, they would thrive in that. And mentally, they've both been incredibly strong as well. So when you put all those pieces together, I would say I'm not really surprised.
Was part of it because, last year the MLB draft was shortened. Would those guys have possibly gone in a normal year and not have had the chance to come to Arizona? Or is that an off-base assessment?
Well, I think a couple things. The number one positive about COVID was there was no game to prepare for. So literally every day, something was being done to make sure Jacob Berry and Daniel Susak and TJ Nichols and Chase Davis came to Arizona and did not sign a pro contract. And then when you took out the bonus pool money for rounds 6 through 10, it might have squeezed what some teams could do. And they're the right kind of kids from the right kind of families that valued education, valued this as part of their development, and they're going to be very well rewarded, both in terms of the substance of their development, their maturity, and then on the back end of it when their time comes with pro baseball opportunities.
And then one last one, because you guys have a lot of talented freshmen. Any worries about nerves with some of those guys playing in their first postseason chance?
No. And in the immediate with those young guys, for me, I feel like we've been in playoff baseball for a long time. These guys really wanted to win that conference championship, and they executed that. And then, every game, in terms of the older players, there's not one player on our team that hasn't played a game that hasn't been meaningful in their time at Arizona. So we're ready to go.
Do we have any more questions for Coach Johnson? All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Next up, we have outfielder Dante Williams. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll start with Michael Lev, Arizona Daily Star.
Hey there, Dante.
How you doing?
Pretty good, thank you. What does it mean to you personally to finally get to play in the postseason here at Arizona?
It's been a long time. We've been working for it, ever since COVID hit and stuff like that. So I think it's big accomplishment for the team, and we just taking it as another game.
Sure, that's exactly what I was going to ask you next. Does anything change this week as far as your approach, mindset, mentality, anything, or is it just the next game on the schedule?
No, not at all. It's baseball. We're going out there. We've got to play the same 9 innings, whatever, however many we play. Catch a ball, throw the ball, hit the ball. So nothing changed. Mentality, preparation. Yeah, we just got to stay the course and keep doing what we have to do to get better on a daily basis.
Next question, Ari Koslow, Daily Wildcat.
How beneficial has it been so far? Obviously, you've just been practicing, but how beneficial has it been to be at home and not have to travel on the road?
It's good. I mean, we all like staying home and stuff, amount of rest and all that stuff. So it's good being able to have more team with the time with the team. Just preparation, all that good stuff.
And what was the general feeling for you and the whole team in the clubhouse on Monday when you heard your name called in the selection show?
It was definitely like an unreal feeling. Never take anything for granted, especially moments like this. So, it's just kind of a matter of, next day we got to start preparing.
Next question, Alec White, Arizona Daily Star.
What are the challenges of trying to prepare to possibly face 3 different teams this weekend?
Being ourselves. That goes back to the whole preparation. Just being able to come to practice, focused on the task at hand. Can't really look too far or not anything behind you. Just stay present. That's really all I could tell you. Our team does a great job with that too. Just being in the moment and feeding off of the things that happen where your feet are.
And then do you think it was beneficial for you guys to play GCU twice already this season?
Seeing a team is always good, but we still got to, like I said, go out there and compete, play our brand of baseball, and stay in the game and stuff like that. I don't think it gets easier. Every team up until this point has always been a challenge, very competitive and stuff like that. So, you can't take your foot off the gas for anybody.
Next question, back to Michael Lev.
Your job as a hitter is to work the count, get on base. You like to take pitches. You're probably going to face a pitcher on Friday who doesn't walk anybody. He hardly has any walks this season. Does that alter your approach or your mindset at the plate at all?
That's good for him. No, not at all. I have no clue. I don't know how I'm supposed to answer that. That's a good thing he fills up the zone and everything, but like I said, I'm not worried about anybody else but Arizona baseball.
Sure. What has it meant to the team on and off the field to have Preston Price and Vince Vanelli back this year?
Yeah, those guys are key components to our pitching staff, our bullpen, and stuff like that. So it's cool to have them back. Vince been throwing great, Preston's throwing great, along with all the other guys in the pen. Just kind of everybody feeds off of their energy and their work ethic. So just having those two dudes get us going. So I'm excited to see what they do.
What do you imagine the atmosphere is going to be like Friday night at High Corbett?
High C, Tucson fans are always unbelievable. So I wouldn't say it's anything. It wouldn't be anything different from what we've seen. I know it's going to be a packed house regional at High Corbett, but they're all coming to show their support. So I'm excited. The whole team's excited to have the juice box bumping.
Next question, Brian Peterson, Arizona Desert Swarm.
Dante, there's been a couple times this season that Coach Johnson has alluded to your relationship with him way back when he was at Nevada and you were getting recruited, and that maybe you didn't have as much interest because it said Nevada on his shirt, but as soon as he became the coach at Arizona, the interest popped up. Can you walk us through a little bit about how you ended up and got recruited by Jay to come out here as maybe one of the first ones from this team?
Yeah, for sure. I've known him probably since like 8th or 9th grade while he was at San Diego. So it kind of just kept following him along as he, came from San Diego to Nevada and stuff like that. And I've always wanted to come to a school like Arizona. This is actually my dream school. So I guess that speaks for itself. Going to a dream school, having the best chance of winning a national championship, and we've been on the road to do that for 4 years now. So yeah, I'm grateful to be at a place like this.
Did it almost feel like it was meant to be when he got the job here?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like I said, dream school, great coach, great coaching staff behind him. So yeah, I'm really fortunate and blessed to be given this opportunity.
Thank you.
Are there any more questions for Dante? All right, thank you, Dante.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, Arizona's going to wrap up with Garrett Urban. If you have a question, please raise your hand. First question, Ari Koslow, Daily Wildcat.
What was it like for you and the whole team to hear your name get called last Monday during the selection show?
Oh, yeah, it was a sweet feeling. I think even though we were expected to host a regional, I think it was definitely come Monday. Everyone just kind of showed up to the selection show and didn't know what to expect. But when you're watching ESPN and watching, highlights of your team, it's definitely a surreal feeling. And I know a lot of us, wasn't expecting to feel that, excited once we saw ourselves, because we were kind of expecting it. But to see highlights of our team, see that we were a number 5 seed, and then to see all the teams that, we'll be playing and prepping for this week, it was definitely a lot of fun that Monday and then Tuesday as well.
And how beneficial do you believe has it been, and will it be this weekend to be playing at home and not have to travel on the road?
Yeah, I think it's very beneficial. It's definitely helpful when, from a starting pitcher's perspective, you're driving to the field from your house and you're just driving to, show up to the game about 2 hours early, and then you just get to go to work instead of wake up in a hotel bed that you're not used to sleeping in and going to the field with the rest of the team. So I think it's definitely an advantage to have a home field advantage. So I'm definitely blessed, and I think we're all very, very excited to, play this week at our own field and have our fans behind us each game, no matter if we're playing in the night or in the day. Tucson's a great place. So.
Next question, Michael Lev, Arizona Daily Star.
So whether you're pitching Friday night or Saturday afternoon or Saturday night, whatever the case, there will be a really big crowd at High Corbett. It'll be an exciting, electric type of atmosphere. As a starting pitcher, does that help you, or is it difficult to kind of keep your adrenaline, under control and hit the zone when the crowd's that crazy?
I think we tend to play better when the pressure's on. Like Yeski said, pressure is a privilege. So, we're definitely excited to have all the fans out there. And I think us as a team, our offense and defense, I think we tend to play better when the pressure's on and when, people are yelling and screaming. So, I think it benefits us and pitchers as well, because obviously adrenaline will help you throw a little bit harder and throw that curveball a little bit harder. So I think it's definitely on our side, especially, again, going back to the home field. It definitely helps that they're all cheering for us and not against us. So.
Sure. Have you participated in postseason play in any of your previous stops?
I have at the Division II my freshman year, just a regional, and then my sophomore year at my JC, a regional as well, and I haven't been able to advance past a regional. So I think this year I'm definitely excited to, be a part of a team that I guess in the recent years hasn't been able to experience a regional. And obviously this is my first Division I regional, which is definitely a lot different from my previous stops. So I think we're all very excited to obviously just win this regional and just play the best against, GCU and then whatever teams we play after that. So
is there anything you can take from those previous experiences you've had that maybe could help you this weekend?
I think for myself, and I think my teammates already know this, but I keep telling myself that you can't make a game more important than any other games, because I think obviously different teams have different styles of play, but it's all, Division I baseball. So there'll be teams that make less errors or teams that might have a little more power or throw a little bit harder. But I think at the end of the day, you're still playing baseball. So you just can't make it more important just because there's more people in the stands, or if you lose, you go home. It's more of let's just play the best we can with the time given. So.
Next question, Brian Peterson, Arizona Desert Swarm.
Your outing this past weekend was fairly short, both in terms of innings and pitches, but Coach Johnson said that he's actually happy it went that way because it would give you a little bit of extra rest. Where do you feel like you are physically? And how important was it, do you think, to get that extra time?
I definitely think it benefits. I think obviously I was a little upset with my last outing, but if anything, it just motivates me to do better this week. But yeah, same. I think, Silseth went 80 pitches. So we're both me a lot shorter than usual, and him a little bit shorter. So we're both very excited to get out this weekend. But yeah, this week we kind of focused on getting our bodies right, and me and Silseth have both talked about how good we feel this week and how excited we are. So I think, going shorter this last week helped a little bit, and for myself motivated me to do better this week and help my team, give a better chance to win. So
there's no more leaving something in the tank for later at this point, right?
No, there's no leaving anything in the tank. I think last week, I think the coaches, might have wanted us to keep on a shorter pitch count just because the regional this week. But at this point, whatever day I throw, I'm ready to go out there. And if they need me, another day come Sunday or Monday, then I'm good to go then. So, I think that's all of our mindsets on the offense and defensive side, where we're not leaving anything in the tank, and we're ready just to win each day.
Thank you.
Next question, back to Michael Lev.
What has it meant to the team on and off the field to have Preston Price and Vince Finelli on the squad this year?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I think they brought such a great energy last year to our pitching staff, and everyone kind of just gravitates towards them, at least from the pitching standpoint. So to have those guys back and kind of just lead us and show us, what Arizona pitching is, and each guy, whether they're freshmen, sophomore, juniors, or myself, has gravitated towards those guys. And so to have Preston back this week, obviously he was here within each week when we're practicing, even when we're away, but it's definitely nice knowing that even if we're away, that he's going to be on that bus ride in that plane wherever we go. So it was great having those two to come back after last year. It's definitely a blessing.
Are there any more questions for Garrett? Yes, Matt Moreno.
How helpful is it to open up postseason play with a team that you guys are at least a little bit familiar with?
Yeah, I think it helps a lot. A team like GCU, they're a very good team, and we weren't surprised that we'd be playing them this Friday night. So I think it just helps with, knowing what pitches you've thrown in the past to their hitters, and the hitters knowing, what each pitcher does. They haven't seen the Friday guy, but I think once we get past that Friday guy and work him out of the game, we've seen all their relievers. So, I think it definitely benefits us, and especially that it's at our place again. So we'll be playing at home, and we'll be playing a team that we're familiar with. And I think it definitely helps.
What were your first thoughts when you saw the field for the Tucson Regional? I think a lot of people thought, wow, that's 4 talented teams.
Yeah. It's definitely 4 talented teams, but I think if anything, I think it's a win-win, just because if, obviously we're going to do well this weekend. So you're going to face, 4 or 3 talented teams. So you're just going to be that much ready for the Supers, and then face a talented team there, and you'll be that much ready for Omaha. So I think if anything, it benefits us to, face the teams that we are this weekend, because it'll definitely help us down the road.